Hey, welcome back to the Calling Solution family right here on Holy Coach Radio, Sirius XM channel 154. And guess what? I have a treat for you. I talk to you guys all the time about the importance of careers. And guess what? It is not becoming any less important despite all the things we may see in the job market, despite all the news we may read. The idea of advancing in your career is still precious to many of you. You want to know how much? Statistically, the average person will switch careers 3 to 7 times over their lifetime. Just like take that in for a second, 3 to 7 times. Remember the days we used to all think, we would work at the factory or our parents would work at a certain place forever, retire with all the good stuff. It can happen, but that's not what's happening on average. The other data says that 30% of the workforce will turn over in the next 12 months, just out of the volume of opportunities available. So you know how I think about you guys. I want to make sure you're able to take advantage of all the opportunities, and our good partners at AARP, who I've been telling you about, have a lot of resources. And not only that, I have somebody today with me who's going to talk about some of the resources. But just so you know about AARP, I think a lot of people think about, oh, well, AARP must means I'm retiring, I'm leaving life, etc. I'm planning for my leave of life. Not true. One of the things you'll hear me say in that live read is the younger you are, the more you need AARP. AARP is not only a valued partner, but they're the nation's largest nonprofit, nonpartisan organization dedicated to empowering people 50 and older to choose how they live as they age. And the key I would say is get in early. So with me today, I have from AARP, Felicia Brown. Felicia is a senior advisor at AARP. She has over 25 years of experience developing programs, managing projects, and strategic planning. Her primary role as lead for AARP's entrepreneurship initiative, she provides strategic direction for national partnerships and national programming with a focus on women, communities of color, and veterans. Felicia, welcome to the show.
Thank you, James, for having me. I'm so excited to be here to talk about the work that we're doing here at AARP.
Thank you for joining and bringing your wealth of experience to this conversation. I know it's going to be so good for our listeners. Let me start off with a question I always ask to get people to understand who is behind the microphone. What is one thing you might be able to share with my audience that even those closest to Felicia Brown do not know?
That is a very interesting question. I'm not sure that there is one thing. I mean,
Okay.
that we're really made up of a lot of things. But I will
Absolutely.
share for people who don't know me is I love to travel internationally. I traveled to Ghana last year.
Nice.
And so I've been to 3 countries in Africa now. My passport is getting very full.
Yeah.
And even outside of Africa, I've been to China and I've been to the Mediterranean. So I am not just a traveler, but an international traveler.
Yes. Awesome. What's your favorite place? If you have to choose one place you can go to.
I have to say, Ghana was my favorite place.
Is that right?
I enjoy China. China was not on my bucket list, but I immensely enjoyed China. But I think I enjoyed Ghana for a very special reason. It just felt like home.
That's nice. Very nice. So listen, with your career and all the things that you've done, what brings you to this work at this point in your journey?
So I will say that I've been with AARP for a number of years, let's say 16, and I've done a lot of things. And so I will say landing here in this small business work has really been fulfilling, particularly in the last 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
And so, James, I will tell you that several years ago, in the height of the pandemic and the height of all the social unrest that happened, not just here in the United States, but across the world, AARP took a very strategic stand to really focus on the disparities that really exist, and that were highlighted as a result of the pandemic, particularly in the areas of health and wealth. And so while we were doing small business work prior to that, this really gave us an opportunity to not just help people with addressing that wealth gap that we talk about so often. And a lot of times we focus that around housing and health. But as a result of the pandemic, we noticed that a lot of people of color were starting businesses and they were taking that opportunity to bet on themselves. Of course, we know that a lot of women, particularly women of color, were pushed out of the marketplace. They really started businesses out of necessity. And so they started without really knowing what to do, where to go. But as a woman of color, and particularly a Black woman, I wake up every day knowing that through this work, that we are making a difference. And
That's
so
good.
that's what we're doing, and that's how we've gotten here, because we know that it's a path to people's financial security, and we know that small business can be a path to generating individual and community wealth.
Oh, that's good. That's excellent. Excellent. I mean, and it's so good to your point, the opportunity side of that, right? In terms of people chasing opportunity. And I listen, guys, I know what you're thinking. Oh, there were so many content creators created during the pandemic. Yes, but there were so many of fill in the blank, X, Y, and Z different roles and businesses created during the pandemic. That's excellent. So let's, without further ado, let's talk a little bit about the work. Tell us about AARP's Small Business Initiative.
Sure. So this is the way I kind of always describe it, James, is that, there's no secret that
Mm-hmm.
AARP is advocating and working on behalf of individuals 50 plus. And that's the work that we're doing. We're helping individuals, older entrepreneurs, small business owners really kind of actualize that dream of small business ownership. And
Yes.
so I always say that we serve as a front door. And so that front door is, what does that path look like for you from a non-traditional work perspective? Is that freelancing? Is that working, launching your business at home? Or is it really starting that business where it's outside the home?
Yes.
And so we provide a plethora of tools and resources on our Small Business Resource Center for the 50 plus
Yes.
that really kind of helps you get that start. And so what you can do is you can go there, you can download all of our tip sheets, our action plans. You can listen to our webinars on demand. You can look at our resource lists, and you can look at all those things to really kind of help you get that first start.
Yes.
Because we know that if people start businesses without really knowing how to start a business, that doesn't stop them. And so we want to be your entry point.
Mm.
And so when you come into a room with all of this information, and then you can take all of that, download them, and then take it to your small business development center or your women's business development center. Take it to your mentor, take it
Yes.
to someone you know who is a trusted advisor. But take that information and begin to really have those serious conversations about what you want to do, the chart you want to path, how
Mm.
you want to get there, and really begin to formalize that business and that business plan that perhaps you've been working on for a number of
Yeah.
years.